These are the plaintiffs, Valerie Curtin Nance and Dempsey Raines. Dempsey says he parked his car legally at the drugstore parking lot, and the defendant, for some unknown reason, towed his car. He was forced to pay $180 to get it back. The tow company wouldn't listen to reason because he was most definitely parked in a good spot, and they're here suing for the return of their hard-earned money. This is the defendant, Brian Shinin. He says he's been in the tow business pretty much his whole life, and the plaintiff parked his car in one lot, then walked across the street to another business, and that's why he was towed. He has every right to do his job for the business owners who hire him. The plaintiff was wrong. That's why his car was removed. He's accused of making a little towing mistake.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says he was illegally towed from the defendant's drugstore parking lot, but the tower says the guy parked and then walked across the street to another business. It's the case of tow nailed.
Thank you, Douglas. Valerie Curtin Nance?
Yes.
And Dempsey Raines?
Yes.
You are suing B&M Towing, represented here by Brian Shining. You're the owner?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
for $180 that you want paid back to you because you feel that the car was inappropriately towed. Mr. Raines, you're the one who had parked the car, right? What
Yes.
happened?
I was giving people a ride to the store. Then one was going to one store, one going to another store. Then we was gonna meet back, and
Who was going to what store, and what store were you going to? What store were they going to?
they was going to Driftway. One was going to another store.
Oh, so you had two people in the car.
Yeah. I had
All
two
right, where
people.
did you go?
Yeah, I went to the check on my taxes across the street.
Oh, okay. And what were you doing? What do you mean by check on your taxes? You give it to, it was H&R Block across the street, right?
Yeah, H&R
You
Block.
sit with them, you
Yeah.
talk about it with them, and they either have them ready or they don't. But
Yeah.
what were you going physically to do over there?
I was gonna pick them up.
Okay.
Yeah,
I asked, what time was this?
around 6 o'clock.
Okay, what time did you get a call regarding the tow?
Approximately 6:45.
Okay, who called you to tell you to tow the car?
An agent from the property, I was in the office, I got the phone call, gave me the car's description and where the car was and the plate number.
And they told you that the person,
One person parked the car and walked straight across to
to
H&R Block.
So this is at 7. When do you get the call from somebody saying, hey, do you have my car?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock at night. Okay. So if you were just picking up your taxes, what time did you come back and notice your car missing?
Around 6:30.
Okay. So what did you do?
Yeah, I called the police, and I walked all the way back home,
How
About-
far was back home?
about 10 to 11 blocks.
Okay. And what did the police say to you? Did you call the police first?
Yeah, I called the
All
police
right. So did the
first.
police tell you the car had been towed?
Yeah, they looked it up.
Right. So you already knew at 6:30 the car was towed. Why did it take until 10 o'clock? If you were there by 6:30, why did it take until 10 o'clock to call the tow company?
Well, they gave me the number.
Right. But why did it take until 10 o'clock? Maybe you were at H&R Block a little longer?
No.
No.
They
All right.
showed
Who's the
it.
gentleman with you? Was he in the car with you?
Yeah,
Okay. Can I hear from him a second? Could you come up and you two switch places?
yeah.
What's your name?
James.
All right. And are you related?
Yes, that's my cousin.
Okay. Were you in the car?
Yes.
Tell me where you guys were going.
We was going to Mount Avenue to go get my sister some soup and some medicine for her daughter and her son. My cousin had dropped us off a block before Thriftway because we wanted to check a different store before we got to Thriftway. The store that we went to first, they didn't have.
So then when he arrived at this place, he did park alone?
Yes.
Okay, because he had dropped you guys off in
Yes.
the other pharmacy. Okay.
And then me and my sister proceeded to walk towards Thriftway to see if the Thriftway had the medicine and the soup for my
All right.
niece and my
so
nephew.
So then let me see if I got this straight, but based on what you're saying, here's what happens. He drops you off at the first pharmacy. Then he keeps driving, and he goes to the parking lot of where the second pharmacy that you're going to go to is.
Yes.
But these guys don't know that you're going there. The owner
Yes.
of the lot doesn't know that you're going there.
Yes.
And in fact, what the owner of the lot sees is just this. Him park the car and walk across the street to H&R Block.
We had went to Thriftway right after.
No.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't also.
You know, you weren't in the car. You're not
Yes,
a
that's
guy
what
in
I'm
the car.
saying.
Okay.
We wasn't in the car. They
All right.
also didn't see us.
Do you have a receipt, by the way, from the place that you went to afterwards? That
My sister has the receipt. I wasn't.
Let me just ask you a question. When did you find out the car had been towed?
Me and my sister had walked back because my uncle was still in H&R Block, and we didn't understand.
What time did you guys walk back?
All I could tell you was nighttime, so I could say it's like after 6, so 7:30, 7 o'clock-ish.
Right, he's still in H.R. Block. His car is still there.
I'm not too sure if his car was there.
You don't know, right?
No, it wasn't.
So you guys didn't stick around. You had nothing to do with the car. So the fact that you're at that place buying medicine doesn't mean anything because you're not there when it's parked and you're not going home in it. Okay. So let me hear from you. You are who?
Dempsey's aunt. This is my son. It wasn't at 10 o'clock because I'm the one that paid the money.
Okay.
It was nowhere near 10 o'clock at night. Because
What
it
time
happened,
did you guys call him?
Dempsey's timing, they may be off, but it was around 7. They left around, I would say, a little after 6. It happened maybe 7, at the latest 7:15. When I came out, my daughter came up. She said to me that they were back, but Dempsey had got his car, something had happened to his car, because they were back a couple of minutes. I heard them downstairs. She came up, she mentioned that.
So when do you place the call? What time do you place the call?
He placed,
He does.
he played,
What
he
time
was
did you
on
play?
I
the
didn't place the call.
phone.
Dempsey
He
placed
was
the call.
on the phone when I came down the steps.
Okay. So did
Okay.
you grab the phone?
He was talking to a woman which said that he owed $180.
Did you grab the phone?
By that time, she got off, I let him handle it, and I said to him, let's hurry up, let's go down there because you don't want to have a problem and have to
Storage fees and all
pay
that
storage
stuff. All
fees.
right. So
I
you go down there with the 180 and what happens?
I went down there with my credit card.
Okay.
He told me he needed cash only. So I ran to a store and came back.
Right.
He was just outside waiting.
Is it him who was waiting or somebody else?
I don't recall that.
Was it you or somebody else?
It was not me, it was my
Okay,
driver.
so go on.
I don't recall it. So he said he was, so he was out there waiting or whatever. So I gave him the money, and then he didn't want it. He said, "Oh, I need $236."
Why did that happen?
So, if you park in a mall and then you walk across the street, how quickly can they tow your car?
I mean, 1 hour.
1 hour, really? What do you say?
I would say almost never. You have...
No, I'm not asking what you wish. I'm asking what you think.
Oh, probably about 45 minutes, yeah.
Who thinks immediately? Anybody?
Not
No?
me, no.
Really?
Half an hour minimum. Like
You got a rude awakening coming, going inside the courtroom.
What happened was, when they called for the car after hours, the driver was already home.
He
So
did not call it.
they're not supposed to release the car after hours.
What's
when-
after hours? 5?
No, after 4 o'clock or an hour
You call
after.
hours after 4?
An hour after the vehicle is towed.
Oh, after
Compared-
4
An hour
o'clock,
after.
you call after hours, 1 hour after the vehicle is towed. So if
Yeah.
it's towed at 6, after hours would be 7.
Yes.
Okay, I need you to not talk. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The agreed price that the driver and Mr. Dempsey or the woman, I don't know, I was not there, came up with was $210.
How do you know?
Because this is what my driver told me the next morning when he first came in and told me this whole ordeal.
Okay.
He said that she went and she came back with $180. He did not want to argue with her anymore. She had told my driver, how dare he tow a car with a mentally challenged person. And the driver asked, how are we supposed to know, and why didn't you handle this if Mr. Dempsey is mentally challenged? So they got into an argument. He did not want to argue anymore, so he took the $180 and said,
And
you know
closed it
what,
out.
forget it.
Okay. Let me have Mr. Raines back up. I'm sorry. Okay. Mr. Raines admits that he parked the car and then he walked to H&R Block. Tell me what they did wrong, or what the
I said
owner of
my
the lot
daughter-
did wrong.
My daughter and son went into the Thriftway. That's where they towed the car from, Thriftway. That's what the lot is.
I'm
That's
sorry.
what-
Your daughter and son did not get out of his car at the Thriftway. Your daughter and son, according to your son, had gotten out of the car in another
they were
pharmacy.
going to Thriftway.
Well, that's great. I might be going to somewhere, but unless I was getting out of the car, I don't have a right to park there. So he parks there and clearly walks across the street according to his own testimony, and they're not in the car according to his own testimony. The person who called him and said, hey, tow this car, he parked here and he went there. That's the idea behind these shopping centers, is they need to keep that open so that they can make money, so they can eat and pay their kids tuition. They don't want you parking there, taking up the slots of the customers to go across the street to H&R Block. They don't want that.
Well,
even if it's for a minute, they don't
shopping.
want that. Okay?
They
So
shop.
no, the answer to my question is really a rhetorical question. They did nothing wrong, and my verdict is for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So in this case, the defendant did absolutely nothing wrong, according to the judge. The plaintiff, Ms. Nance, is coming out of the courtroom with Mr. Raines. Do you understand the judge's verdict?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're okay with it?
Yes, sir.
You all right, Ms. Nance?
No.
They didn't get you didn't get out of the
No.
car. That's why
Well,
the car was
shopped
towed.
they shopped there. They went in.
Yeah, but not at the time when when he parked the car. You heard that. Okay. Sorry, that's the judge's decision. Thank you very much. You have to sign some documents. Our officer is waiting for you. Come on out, Mr. Shinen. How are you?
Okay.
Kind of sorry you got involved in this. I had to come to court over this.
We've received a summons, and we know that we are doing it 100% legal. I've been doing this since 1968.
Yeah.
I know the laws, and I know all the stories.
Well,
If they had a receipt and went into the store, they would have had the receipts to show the tow truck driver when they came for the car.
Yeah.
They had no receipt.
okay.
Or
Well, they weren't even there. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they said that they did go into Thriftway.
No, but they weren't there when your car was towed.
No.
Well, look,
It was
bottom
not
line
like
is
that.
you won the case.
Yes,
Be
yes,
happy.
yes.
Okay? Have a good time.
Thank you.
See you later. Good luck. Harvey?
You know what? I can make this so short and sweet. You can be towed the second you walk off the property if they know that you're not doing business there.